back. Jeff, Heggie, Daily Success Strategies. Thanks for being with me today. Hope things are going great for you. Today what I want to talk about is high achievers, mindset, and mental health, and how they all combine together. But before I get to that, just at the end, I'm going to talk a little bit more about my goal setting masterclass, the offer that I had for that free class. I'll talk a little more about that at the end, but I want to get into this today, talking about specifically about mindset and mental health, because if you've been listening to me for a while, you know about my High Achievers Mindset Secrets, the course. You can find out more at mindset.jeffheggie.com. But in module 6, that's one of the topics of conversation in that module is mindset and mental health. And so this interview I had today, we talked about that and how it relates to high achievers in general. We talked a lot about athletics, we talked a lot about entrepreneurs and different things, but it was really interesting to talk about that. And as I've learned more about it, not only about mindset but mental health as well, it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and I think we can all learn about it. And that was one of the things that really came out of it, is everyone needs to educate themselves more on the topic of mental health. Because my daughter Tia, you can follow her on Instagram at Tia Heggie, she deals with mental health issues, and she's been a high achiever all her life, really focused and dedicated. And one of the things that we've recognized without knowing it at the time is we were splitting a lot of the things that we focus on and putting a lot of fixed mindset things in place that I think really impact the mental health side of things. But that was one thing that I've studied recently, and there's in one of the journals of medicine from 2016, there is an article that I read, and it talked about a study that they had done with, I believe it was college students, but it was students that were dealing with depression and anxiety, and they were just going through a lot. And every single one of them in this study, in a matter of a 30-minute session of learning about a growth mindset and how to have more of a growth mindset, every single one of them were better able to deal and cope with their anxiety and depression. And so that's one of the things that really comes about, is one of the expectations of high achievers is that they can achieve their goals and that they've got to really push themselves. But as they do it and they focus more and more on outcomes and less on the process and less on the learning of it, and they get more of a fixed mindset, it's harder to deal with anxiety, depression, and the mental health issues that many have to deal with. But as we can change our focus and try to be more open and have more of a growth mindset, we're going to be able to cope with these things more and handle them more and really take control over our thoughts and our actions rather than being held slave to them. And it's really interesting, as a father who's dealt with a daughter who has mental health issues that she deals with, specifically anxiety is one of them. It's not something I was even aware of most of the time. And as someone that I coached in basketball for many years, and I was always pushing and setting goals with her and all those different things, you don't recognize and realize that someone like that can also be dealing with these things. And so I think whether you're an athlete, whether you're a coach, whether you're an entrepreneur, a boss, whatever it is, the more we can learn to have a growth mindset, and the more we can learn to teach others to have a growth mindset, we'll be able to put more power in their hands and help them to deal with these issues and help them avoiding having to deal with anxiety and depression at those levels. So really, really interesting conversations, and there's a lot to be said about the combination of mindset and mental health. And so I would love to talk to you more about that. If anyone wants to have any one-on-one conversations, just send me a message, say I'm interested. We'll set up a free strategy call and we can talk about those things, and I can share some of the things. I'm definitely not an expert on mental health. In fact, that was something that we did talk about in the interview, was one of the best things someone that's dealing with these things can do is to talk to a therapist. And I'll give a shout out to Ryan Winder, the Vegas therapist, if you want to listen to his podcast. But he's been on my other podcast, the Jeff and Heidi Show, and he's actually had some conversations with my daughter and helped her on a lot of things. So I'll put his link in the show notes here, because I know the things that he's worked on with her were very valuable. But professional help isn't something to be ashamed of. It's something that can really help you. But learn more about having a growth mindset, and it can really help a lot as well. But the other thing I wanted to just add on that I said at the beginning was with the free goal setting masterclass. We're just a few days away from 2021, and really between the 31st and the 1st, is anything going to change? No. But it gives us the opportunity to start a fresh year. It gives us the opportunity to take a new look at things, and it really is something that we want to look at making 2021 great. 2020 has been a challenge, and like I said in yesterday's podcast, I've seen some incredible things happen this year. I've seen someone that was doing okay, but really struggling to get things going. December had their first $10,000 month. I've seen others that have just been killing it and doing some amazing things. So even with challenges, even with pandemics, whatever it is, there's opportunity. There's opportunity to make things happen, and there's opportunity to do great things. So if that's something that you want to be a part of, if you want to gain some clarity, you want to figure out some of these things, rather than having that goal setting masterclass, everyone that I was talking to, it was really difficult to figure out the right time and day to do this and make it work for everyone. Most of the people I was talking to were going to have to just listen to the replay, and I'd rather do some live conversations with interaction. So what I've been doing is just setting up one-on-one calls that I'll go through the exact same stuff with a one-on-one call, and no charge obviously, but help you get some clarity, set some goals, and really get yourself set up to make 2021 great. So if that's something you're interested in and you want to jump on a call and talk about your goals and really go through the process of figuring out where you want to be at the end of 2021, send me a DM, just say 2021 goals in the subject line, or send me an email at jeff@jeffheggie.com. I'd love to get on a Zoom call with you and have that conversation and help you set some goals for yourself, help you set the direction and have some clarity and figure out what you need to do to achieve those goals. But send me a message and we'll talk about that. Otherwise, we'll talk to you again in the morning. Thanks.